Dr. Robert Atkins decided to do an experiment on himself. He decided to stop all carbohydrates. He ate a lot of meat, butter, cream, cheese, eggs. So there was his protein, and meat, butter, cream, cheese, eggs was also supplying another food group, which was fat. A few things happened. His weight just fell off. He wanted to lose weight quickly, safely, drastically. What would they severely eliminate? The carbs. Someone wanted to conquer cancer. What would they quite drastically drop? The carbs. Someone wanted to conquer their diabetes. What would they drop? The carbs. It's called fat cells. And what's happening to Americans on their high carbohydrate diet? They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's the third place that the liver will cause all the excess to be stored is as fat.
Have you been struggling with being overweight and facing related health issues? Well, it looks like it's going to be a thing of the past, because Barbara O'Neill's secret way to achieve a healthy body weight is here to save the day. Don't just take our word for it. Witness the story of this retired judge yourself. He went from battling obesity to embracing a healthy lifestyle. How did he achieve this? We are about to find out in this video. Spoiler, you don't have to have a workout routine. Story of retired Judge Henry. At the age of 69, a retired judge named Henry enrolled in Barbara O'Neill's retreat program. Henry was struggling with being overweight while also suffering from 6 different health conditions, including high blood pressure, blood clotting, high cholesterol, high blood sugar, gout, and stomach ulcers. As a result, he was put on multiple medications by his doctor in order to treat his health conditions. While at first, these medications seemed appealing and helpful, their long-term use caused side effects and potentially resistance in his body. It wasn't long before his medications almost stopped working, with his weight continuing to rise. Henry, however, kept up with his medications when he joined O'Neill's program.
We had one guy, and his name was Henry. He was a retired judge. And he came to our program, and he was not interested in changing his medication. He was about, I think, 69. He was a bit overweight, probably carrying about 70-pound excess weight. He was on medication for blood pressure, for blood thinning, for blood cholesterol, for blood sugar, and gout and stomach ulcers. So he was on 6 medications.
Barbara O'Neill offered him hawthorn berry tea to help maintain his blood pressure. Henry continued using hawthorn berries while at the program and after he returned home. Consequently, Henry felt a change in his body after using hawthorn berries. Months later, he returned to the program and requested more hawthorn berries. Barbara O'Neill said that when she saw him after all these months, she was astonished. O'Neill couldn't recognize this man. He had lost around 40 kilos. Surprisingly, Henry's face was much less puffy, and his doctor took him off medications for blood pressure, blood thinning, cholesterol, gout, and stomach ulcers. Plus, he no longer needed knee replacement surgery as he wasn't overweight anymore.
So we gave him the hawthorn berry tea to drink through the day because of his high blood pressure. He heard the lectures at the end of the week. He said, "Thank you, Barbara." He said, "I've very much enjoyed my week. I will take some hawthorn berries home with me and continue." I did not recognise Henry. He had lost 40 kilos. So the puffiness in his face had gone. He said, "I can do my coat up now." He said, "Sit down, I have some stories for you." He said, "I went to the doctor recently to have my blood pressure taken, and the doctor said, I'll have to get another machine." And he said, "Why?" He said, "Well, your blood pressure, this machine says your blood pressure says it is 120 over 75. He said, "That's not your blood pressure." He said, "It is now."
It wasn't just hawthorn berry that did wonders for him. He also followed a healthy routine and lifestyle, which proved fruitful for him. He changed his entire eating habits and began having balanced yet healthy diets. His breakfast, lunch, and dinner were nothing short of extraordinary. Besides, Henry also skipped coffee and alcohol, which were ruining his health. A lot more was involved apart from adding and skipping some food items. Let's break down every detail of Henry's routine proposed by Barbara O'Neill to help you lose weight effectively without having to work out. Why exercise might not help you lose weight. For many who are just getting started with exercise after gaining a lot of weight, exercise might not help, especially the type of exercise we do. Take walking, for example. If a 150-pound person walks every day for 30 minutes, they will only be able to burn 140 calories. This is exactly the number of calories in a soda can. This means your time and effort will go in vain, while just skipping the soda can is much easier. This explains and confirms why exercise might not be an ideal method for losing weight effectively and quickly, but making changes to your lifestyle will help. Henry's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Henry followed a breakfast routine that included a large bowl of whole grain cereal with fruits and coconut cream. People often go for whole grains when they seek heart-healthy benefits, like lowering cholesterol to improve blood pressure. But did you know that whole grains have fiber, antioxidants, minerals, and vitamins that can help you lose weight? You heard that right. Barbara O'Neill suggests that anyone looking to lose weight should be eating a high-fiber diet. There are many misconceptions about a high-fiber diet being the culprit behind weight gain, which are absolutely false. Fiber in whole grains can slow down digestion, giving you a fuller stomach feeling, which helps in getting you to eat less.
Whole grain and fruit and coconut cream, did you hear that? All that weight loss on coconut cream. I had some sourdough bread with avocado and tomato. He was a bachelor.
Fruits, on the other hand, have almost the same nutritional value. Natural substances in fruits, including vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, prebiotics, and fiber, are ideal for protecting against harmful diseases and for weight loss. But what's the deal with coconut cream? The word cream often comes off as something that can be used to gain weight, but that's not the case with coconut cream. Apart from improving your gut health and maintaining heart health and cholesterol, coconut cream is a great way to maintain a healthy weight. It has MCTs, medium-chain triglycerides, which work like fiber to help you feel full and ultimately reduce your calorie intake. If we talk about lunch, Henry's lunch consisted of vegetables, salads, and protein sources combined with whole grain sourdough bread, topped with avocado and tomato. Similar to whole grains, vegetables provide filling fiber while also being low in calories. This ultimately makes you eat less throughout the day. Moreover, vegetables have added water content, which also helps in making your stomach feel fuller. Barbara O'Neill recommends eating a diet that is full of fiber, proteins, and healthy fats if you want to lose weight.
And then at lunchtime, he said, I have my main meal about 2. And he said, and I have salad, I have vegetables, and I have some sort of protein.
O'Neill says one big reason for overweightness is a high carbohydrate diet. Many people use staples like bread and cereal, while others just can't resist having cakes, muffins, and croissants by midday. This is where things start to go wrong. When these carbohydrates enter our body, it responds in the worst way. These carbohydrates turn into glucose. O'Neill says anything we eat, including carbohydrates, breaks down into smaller particles and is then absorbed into the blood. This glucose is then passed through the glycolysis pathway, forming pyruvate, which moves to the powerhouse of the cell, the mitochondria. It is then processed through the Krebs cycle, forming 36 units of energy in the presence of oxygen. When we eat excessive carbohydrates, our body produces more glucose. Once the energy requirements are met and glycogen stores are filled, the remaining glucose is stored as visceral fat. This results in overweight and obesity. While fats help make you feel full, a diet high in refined carbohydrates and fats will surely make you obese. This fat is stored in your belly or other internal organs. Barbara O'Neill recalls the book Wheat Belly by Dr. William Davis, in which he discusses how sugar and hybridized wheat elevate blood sugar levels, resulting in visceral fat. In addition, glucose burns 4 calories per gram, while fats burn 9 calories per gram. While fat burning gives you more energy per gram, taking more calories than you are capable of burning will lead to excess weight.
To make up for the dehydrating agents in 1 cup of coffee. Now, when you look at that, I think you'd agree with me, the nation's dehydrated. And Dr. B's book, One of the Body's Many Cries for Water, it actually explains why all of these ailments are happening. The other title to his book is, he's not sick, he's thirsty.
Carbohydrates themselves aren't bad for you, but they can become worse through overconsumption and refinement. You must manage your carbohydrate intake, choosing unrefined options, and switching processed grains like wheat to healthier alternatives. Dr. Atkins, who tested a regimen of losing weight on himself by reducing carbohydrates and focusing on protein, fiber, and fats, found it to be beneficial. However, it had its drawbacks. For example, some people who followed his recommended diet developed acidosis due to the high acid content from a protein and fat diet. Barbara O'Neill suggests that you add more vegetables and plant-based foods, including legumes, nuts, and seeds, to your diet to balance the acid and basic content in your body. Dr. Colin Campbell discusses the same thing in his book, The China Study, that plant protein burns up to 80% as fuel in the body, while animal protein burns 58%, meaning the rest goes to fat storage.
Is greatly reduce the carbohydrates, ideally stop the wheat, eat more vegetables, eat more legumes, nuts and seeds, and you can get a similar result.
O'Neill says not every type of fat is worth consuming. Coconut, olive, and avocado oils, which are now coming back into popularity, are healthy fats and are required for the human body. Barbara O'Neill stresses the need for healthy fats like coconut oil and olive oil, which have been used for centuries. But in recent times, they have been replaced with modern refined and unhealthy foods like white sugar, white rice, white flour, refined sugar, and processed cow milk. The outcome? Increase in obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. Now we have come to use super-processed sunflower and peanut oils, which are causing us more harm than benefits. Barbara O'Neill says these oils cause damage to your arterial walls and should be avoided at all costs.
Amino acids is a breakdown from the protein we eat, and it's amino acids that builds the new cells in the body. And 50% of the membrane around every cell in the body is protein. That's essential. Fat is essential. The fat-free diet is a dangerous diet. There are fats that'll kill and there are fats that'll heal. And because there are some killer fats, they've all been dumped in the same basket. What are the killer fats? The altered fats.
Avocado oil is a mixture of saturated and monounsaturated fats. It can be a good option if it's cold pressed. The human brain, which is made of fat, requires healthy fats for proper function. What about dinner? Henry used to have a very light meal, or usually skipped meals. If he did have dinner, it was usually sourdough bread, coupled with tomato and avocado. Eating patterns and time-restricted feeding. O'Neill suggests eating a substantial breakfast and lunch, followed by a light or no dinner. Many people eat insufficiently and in small portions throughout the day, and end up eating a large meal as dinner. O'Neill says it is similar to fueling your car when your long journey comes to an end. This approach will only result in excess weight rather than helping you lose weight. Plus, your body will begin storing more calories. In the older times, people used to eat large meals in the middle of the day, and evening meals were less practical.
It's really only probably the last 100 years that the main meal has been had at the end of the day. In fact, traditionally, the main meal was always in the middle of the day, especially before electricity, because they didn't have the light at night and it was just more convenient.
Eating larger meals at night doesn't only support weight gain, but also results in poor digestion. In contrast, having larger meals during the day and small meals at the end of the day helps regulate energy and aids in weight loss. This is how you can also let your stomach rest and digest food properly, which in turn will aid in weight management. Digestion of food usually takes around 3.5 to 4 hours, but simple foods like watermelon digest quickly. If you allow your stomach to rest between meals, it will rejuvenate the digestive enzymes. Time-restricted feeding, like intermittent fasting, can be a good option to adjust your eating patterns. If you have a substantial breakfast at 6 a.m. and a moderate lunch by noon, you might not need to have a large dinner. But if you have a large main meal at 8 a.m. and 2 p.m., you could potentially skip dinner. Importance of staying hydrated and skipping coffee and alcohol. If you want to lose weight, drinking enough water is vital. But it is also important to understand the ideal amount and time to drink water. Science proves that drinking water can aid in weight loss in several ways. When you drink enough water, your appetite is suppressed and you eat less. Water can also boost your metabolism, making your body function more efficiently. And last of all, it makes your exercise more effective. Barbara O'Neill says when you combine your weight loss methods with proper hydration, you go the extra mile to achieve healthy body weight. And it really pays off. And this is exactly what Henry did as well. He used to drink a lot of coffee and alcohol while ignoring the vital element, water. This really cost him his health.
He said, I've stopped coffee. I drink water now. He said, I don't have wine anymore. If I'm with my friends of an evening, he said, I get the non-alcoholic grape juice.
Since there are many health issues related to coffee and alcohol, including heart conditions and blood pressure issues, Henry put an end to his consumption. Alcohol can also contribute to weight gain, as it stops the fat-burning process, it's high in kilojoules, it makes you feel hungry, and it makes you crave snacks. Henry eliminated both of these from his life for good and switched to water and alcohol-free grape juice instead. By bringing this change into his routine, Henry saw substantial improvement in his body. So how did this retired Judge Henry completely reshape himself? He began having a substantial and healthy breakfast and lunch while keeping his dinner as light as possible, sometimes skipping it entirely. He reduced carbohydrates and focused more on healthy fats, protein, and fiber. For better outcomes, he replaced coffee and alcohol with water. While he didn't engage in a strenuous workout routine, Henry increased his walking distance every week. Just 2 years following his first visit to Barbara O'Neill, he surprisingly lost around 70 kilograms, while also curing his long-standing serious health issues. That's it for today's video. If you liked watching it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments section.